Hello guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Jesper Offersen and today we are going to look at another sunscreen, and today we are going to look at a sunscreen mist or spray or whatever you will call it. It is from a company called Altruist and we have spoken about them before, and you can see that video up here. And the product, it looks like this. So it is a spray or a mist. Now, the other ones that I looked at was the SPF50 from the same company. Might be a little bit difficult to see it, but it looks like this. And then there was the SPF of 30, and it looks like this. So there were some issues with them, not major, but there are some issues. And these ones here, they say they are reef safe. Let's just say that. They say reef free, but I'm sure they mean reef safe. Now it depends on where you are going, because if you're going to the US Virgin Islands, then they have also banned the UV filter called octocrylene. Now this spray here, first of all, if you look at the other ones here, it says down here it has 5 stars that you can see there, which means that the UVA and the UVB give the same sort of protection percentage wise. So this product here does not have that mark, and it doesn't have that mark at the back either. So when you're looking at their web page, it doesn't say anything about the star rating, and if you look at these products here on their web page, it does not have this little mark down here with the stars. So I think that the pictures they have on their web page, at least for these two products here, are some old pictures, because when you buy it, you get this one here, or at least where I bought it. This one here does not, when I received it from the same place as these ones came, it does not have the stars symbol on it, the boots testing sign, and it doesn't have that on their web page either. And for some of the products, like this one here, it says it's cruelty free and it's vegan and all that sort of thing, but when you look at this product here on their web page, it doesn't say anything about that. Now I think that all these things are kind of like produced in the same way, as in with the same thinking behind it. So I would imagine that this is cruelty free and vegan friendly and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't say on their web page. So maybe that is something that they will later put on. And also change their mention of reef free, because obviously there's no reef in this or the other products. They mean reef safe. Now this is an SPF 50, and usually that is something that is relatively greasy, but they say that this is not greasy, but I did try it out and I will say, just before I gone on and did this filming today, I tested it on my hand, so that would be kind of like half an hour ago or a little bit more. And if you like to see how it looks after kind of like half an hour, it looks like this, and you can maybe see that on my hand, that it is very, very shiny. It was more shiny when I just put it on, but I mean, this is not something I would put on my face, not at all. And what they say is that it is not greasy either, but when I mean, maybe you can even see that if I put my finger through there, it kind of like gives a matte effect. So it clearly is like it's splitting when I put my finger through it. So it is very greasy. So this is how it looks after kind of like half an hour. So if we just put it on so we can see how it looks straight away, I'll just shake it up, because if there might be something in it that should make it a little bit more matte or something, it's always a good idea to shake something like this. And in general, it's a good idea to shake up a sunscreen, because some things might fall to the bottom. So we just shake it up and then put a little bit on. And I would say some of these sort of mist, they can have quite a strong odor, where this, it just smells a bit like sunscreen. Sunscreen filters this sort of a chemical scent, because there are no perfume in this product, where others, they can be really like, oh, it's absolute awful. But it doesn't mean that it's not like if you can't smell it that there won't be anything in the air that you will inhale, because even that you can't smell it, you will obviously inhale some stuff, and that I'm sure is not healthy. You might be able to cope with it, but I don't think it's healthy. So just keep that in mind. How does it look when I just put it on? It looks like this. So that is very much more shiny. And as you could see from the other hand, if I put it up next to it, it will start to be less shiny, but still it is very shiny, and I would not put that sort of stuff on my face. So obviously it takes a little bit in order for it to be less liquidy, but it just kind of it keeps be something that I'm sure you would not like to put on your face. And anyway, this is a spray. So you might think, oh, I can just spray it directly on my face if I close my eyes, of course, and I don't inhale. But actually, they say that you should not do that. So you should avoid spraying it directly on your face. So that leaves us with that you have to put it onto your hands and then kind of like try and get it on your face. So all in all, it's a little bit yeah, but it's not. I think what you would normally use this sort of spray for is that during the day, so when you have put on maybe this sort of sunscreen in the first place in the morning, and you would like to top it up during the day, that is usually when you are going to use a mist. So you cannot do that. So for that purpose, you cannot use this mist. So that's a bit of a downside. So that is maybe, this is just to spray mainly on the body as such. But it is very glossy and very sticky. And this is not, I would say, a product I will, I don't think I will ever use a product like this. So what else is there to say about it? Well, there are some issues with it, because there is one of these UV filters in here is something called octocrylene, and then there is another UV filter which is ethylhexyl salicylate. And now these filters, they are on the EU's, so the European Union's list of suspected hormone disturbance. And what that means is that if you are in Denmark and you are looking at the web page for the Danish Consumer Council, then they will say that these UV filters, if they are in the sunscreen, we will give them the lowest ranking, and therefore we do not recommend that you are using them. So that they might be a little bit strict, but I mean, sometimes it's a little bit like either you go without a sunscreen, which is really not recommended, and or otherwise you will take a sunscreen, and then there will be something in it that you will not really like. So sometimes it is just a question about what is worse. And I would say that what I normally use is the sunscreen from La Roche-Posay, and that is the Anthidias SPF50. And if you would like to have a spray or a mist, then they do make a mist as well. And they say that you can use that on top of makeup. So what they say is that you can actually spray it onto your face if you are not inhaling and you are closing your eyes. And I have tried that one. I have tested it, and you can see a video up here about it. And I would say that really that gives you this sort of matte look. And they say on the product as well that it is a mattifying product. So I would definitely, if you are going for a sunscreen mist, I would use the one from La Roche-Posay, and I will link to it in the box below so you can find it there. I think these sunscreens here, they are mainly made because the two guys that are making them, they met each other in Africa doing all sort of charity work, and they would like to do something that is cheap and does work. And I'm sure because at least this one here, they have the 5-star rating, and this one here, it does have the UVA in a circle, and you can see that down here, which means that the UVA is at least at a third of the SPF. So what they actually also say on their webpage is that it is above that. So they say that it is better than what the EU recommends, which is at least a third of for the UVA compared to the UVB. be. So they would like, these two guys, they would like to make something that works and that is not very expensive. And I will say, when you're looking at their webpage, these products here, for what they are promising, and they have the 5 stars and the EU mark and all that, this is definitely not expensive. So most people will be able to afford those, I would think. I mean, within reason, of course. But I will say that as you can see in the other video, this one here, they contain titanium oxide, and that will give you a white cast on your face, even on my skin. And this one here does not contain titanium oxide, not even the nanoform, so that will not give you this sort of a whitish cast, but it will give you this sort of very glossy effect. So yes, my recommendation would say that I would rather go with the one from La Roche-Posay if you like a mist. So yes, if you would like to see more of this sort of videos, please subscribe, hit the bell, and do all those things you must do in order to be notified when I upload more of these sort of videos. Thank you for watching. See you. Bye.